There we go. Okay, good afternoon. Yeah, afternoon, everyone.
Hello, my name is Jay,
My name is Charlotte, and
today we have C2 grammar.
yeah, yes, I was reading out some sentences that contain what are considered like C2 aspects of grammar.
Yeah.
We were doing this in the audio portion as well. Would you like me just to continue?
Yeah, let's continue. Let's take.
Yeah, I guess we don't need to beat
sentences.
around the bush. So, all right, okay.
And barking up the wrong tree. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, barking up the wrong tree. That's a nice phrase. All right. So the next sentence that you have generated for me is, I'll read both versions this time. The suspect is said to have been hiding in the cellar when the authorities breached the perimeter. The suspect is said to have hidden in the cellar when the authorities breached the perimeter. There is a difference here. What do you think it is?
To have been hiding.
To have been hiding and to have hidden.
Yeah, to have been hiding means the process.
Yeah, but like what?
I was hiding.
I hate it when people say that sometimes. You know,
I was hiding there. So where were you at that moment? I was hiding.
Yes,
somewhere.
That's the key. At that moment.
At that moment.
When the police came, he was already hiding.
Already.
In the second version, the suspect is said to have hidden in the cellar, means he did it when the authorities came, like just after the police came. So, yeah. Process, of course, that is what it's talking about, but it's not so helpful in every sentence, actually. Yeah.
Yeah, let's take the next one.
Okay. This is something we actually talked about a bit earlier. Okay. I remembered to post the letter, yet I cannot remember. Yet I cannot for the life of me. Sorry, yeah. I read a bit ahead. I remembered to post the letter, yet I cannot for the life of me recall which mailbox I use. Second version. I remembered posting the letter, yet I cannot remember for the life of me. I cannot for the life of me recall which mailbox I use. Sorry, I'm messing up that sentence because that's how I would say it. Okay, anyway.
Yeah, so remember to do something means to do something in the future. And remember doing something like recollecting something from the past, like some flashbacks.
Yeah.
I remember doing it several days ago. Yeah.
I remember having breakfast this morning.
Yeah. So don't forget about doing it. Remember to do it.
Yeah, this is kind of a nice example of when you can say, I remembered to do something, like in past tense. Of course, it's usually just like, remember to send me the pictures, remember to wake up early tomorrow, remember to buy the tickets. It's just saying, like, you should have in your brain this thing that you need to do. Basically.
As I say to my students, you can say that, but it would be a mistake. When they ask, like, can I say this, can I say that? Yes, you can, but that would be a mistake.
What would be a mistake?
Like if you misuse English, if you use the wrong form. Yeah.
Well, the examples I gave were all correct.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. Okay. So, okay, I like these ones too. You needn't have brought such an expensive vintage, though we certainly shan't let it go to waste. You didn't need to bring such an expensive vintage, though we certainly shan't let it go to waste.
Yeah, I know the difference.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I can explain. So the main thing is, whenever you add not right after need, you treat it as a modal verb. If you use don't before need, it's just an ordinary verb. So need can be either a modal verb or an ordinary verb. And needn't in this way sounds a tad more formal, I think.
Yeah. Any difference in meaning? I don't think so.
No difference in meaning.
No. Yeah. Well, technically, hold on. It could be the same. You need not do this would be the same as you don't need to, but here it is the same.
Yeah.
Needn't have brought, of course, always means you did do something.
Yeah.
But you didn't need to.
There was no necessity to do it. Yeah, so the difference in meaning.
So it could mean either you did it or didn't do it.
A different meaning. So in this case, I didn't need to means there was no need to
Maybe
do it.
I didn't do it, yeah. But you needn't have usually.
Yeah, like regretting myself, like kicking myself.
Yeah. Didn't
to use
need
another
to
idiom.
can mean both, but needn't have means you did do something.
Yeah, so-
So I was just thinking of the last time I was teaching this. Okay, interesting one again.
Mhm.
The professor saw the student plagiarize the essay, or the professor saw the student plagiarizing the essay, but chose to wait for the final submission to act. Saw the student plagiarize, saw the student plagiarizing.
Aha.
It's completely the same for me.
As for
Completely
me,
the same, no difference.
so the student plagiarize. It's, what do we call it? Complex.
Well, this is another like gerund
Oh,
versus infinitive thing.
Yeah. So the student plagiarize means like noticing that he was doing it at the moment of plagiarizing.
I think they both mean the same thing. I think in this.
But so the
specific
student
case, there's no
plagiarizing,
difference.
maybe it means that he had been plagiarizing before that.
Well,
Like he saw the result of plagiarizing.
no,
Well,
I don't know.
he saw him plagiarize, like the
It's
process of doing it.
Saw the student plagiarizing the essay. It would be the same, I suppose. Could both
I
mean-
saw
yeah.
her. I saw her cross the road. I saw her crossing the road.
It's the same. Completely the same.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
So no stylistic difference, no nothing.
This is just like up to you, yeah.
What would you use? I mean,
I would
of
use
course.
both. I think I use both equally, to be honest with you.
I saw him cross the road.
If
Saw
you're,
him crossing
I
the
can
road.
imagine it if I'm kind of telling like a cheeky joke, like I saw you. Oh, so when my student said a couple of weeks, I saw you kissing your boyfriend or whatever.
Mhm.
Kissing. Actually, that's a good example.
Yeah.
Sorry, it's maybe a bit crass. I saw you kissing your boyfriend means you were like snogging, kissing
Mhm.
a lot. I saw you kiss could be like a peck on
Yeah.
the cheek. So it's
So
like
sometimes it's
yeah.
it
Sometimes
means-
it can be different, but it's the same difference between like present continuous and present simple. Anyway,
And sometimes we simply read something into it, like if we use if we see the
That's
info,
true.
yeah, if we like kissing, yeah, kissing. Again, it could be mean both.
but in
yeah?
this sentence, yeah,
Like you said,
absolutely.
like snogging. Was it snogging? Yeah, the word.
Snogging, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Or
kissing,
just a
yeah.
kiss,
Mhm.
like one kiss.
I mean, like in this sentence, it's absolutely the same. In practice,
Yeah.
there is no difference. So another tip from me: don't look for differences where there are none. Okay. This one is nice. I was wondering if you might be so kind as to grant me an extension on the dissertation. I wondered if you might be so kind as to grant me an extension on the dissertation. Again, one of those things where I would only use one option.
I was
here.
wondering.
Yeah.
I was wondering is a set phrase. Like
Mhm.
I was wondering means literally I do it now. It's not about the past action.
Yeah, probably is also about
it's
past
like
and
it's
now, yeah.
it's a very polite formal phrase.
It's very
to be
like
used.
cheeky, like
Yeah.
I don't know. Oh, sorry, that was me who
No.
moved that. I just
Mhm.
shifted my legs. You know, it's very like whimsical. Like I was wondering
I was
if
wondering, yeah.
you know you could do this. So technically, it has the same meaning as I have been wondering.
By the way, have you noticed that the word whether has been almost completely replaced with if in such clauses?
What do you mean? You have to give me an example.
Like we have if and whether spelled WH, etc. So previously it was correct to use mostly whether in different clauses. Now we simply use if.
But whether they're not entirely the same though. Whether it's about two, you always use if mostly anyway, just because of like the nature of things people talk about.
Like I don't know whether he's ill. I don't know if he's ill. These days we will simply use if. Well, previously
No,
it
you
was
can use
more correct to use whether.
It's not more correct, they're the same. I would use both, and like maybe if more, but I would still use whether. But whether is like for when you're choosing between two options. Like in your example, I don't know whether he is ill or not, right?
Or not.
Obviously it's case, but you don't have to literally say or not there, but
Yeah.
you know,
That's what it's implied.
whether something like, do you know whether it will rain tomorrow or
Mhm.
not? That's mostly emphasizing like a 50-50 thing. I
Yeah.
guess. But
I remember.
it's the same.
I remember
yeah, I still hear it and
reading
use
old
it myself.
grammars. Old grammars. I'm a bit older than you, but I remember reading old grammars where they said something like whether was more correct, so to speak.
No,
Well,
it's
these
the
days
same.
I've noticed that if is used more commonly.
It's the same, yeah. Because I'm actually doing this right now with my upper intermediate class. We were doing like questions and auxiliary verbs, like indirect questions. Do you know if the shop is open?
Mm-hmm.
It's yes or no, right? Do you know whether the shop is open? It'd be whether or not, actually. Do you know whether the shop is open or not? You should say or not here, and obviously just saying if is shorter as a question anyway, so that's kind of why it makes sense to me.
Yeah, thank you for the
if.
extension, because the extension was important, but not yes or no, whether or not.
Yeah, you can
not,
say, but it should be, yeah. Do you know
I mean,
whether the
no,
shop's
just
open?
to explain
I would
this
always say or
tiny,
not,
tiny
actually.
little
Yeah.
difference.
Do you know whether my cousin has arrived in the country or not? Do you know whether the flight's here yet or not? Of course, just saying, do you know if the flight's here is just a shorter question.
Yeah.
But they are the same. Yeah, nice, okay. I think we have time for at least one more.
Yeah, which means two more.
Well, it could do, depends on what we have to say about this one.
Yeah,
okay,
let's try.
By the time the sun sets, the hikers will have been walking for 12 grueling hours.
Yeah.
Or that by the time the sun sets, the hikers will have walked for 12 grueling hours. I mean, in practice, this is saying the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, in this sentence, it's the same.
Will have walked, will have been walking.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah.
Like, here it's the same. There is, of course, a difference between will have been and will have. But in this sentence, I think it's completely the same.
So we can simply just leave it as it is.
Yeah. Okay. Good.
And then we have one tiny.
Let's do. Should we just move on to the next one then?
Yeah.
Okay. It is thought, or it is being thought, that the ancient ruins hold the key to understand the civilization's sudden collapse.
I would never use it's being thought.
I don't think anyone would use it's being thought. Like, it's okay. I wouldn't even correct someone.
I think it's used just as a distractor by the AI. So I asked AI to create sentences. So
you can say that if you want.
Although I asked to create sentences with two possible and correct options, but this one it is being thought. It's just these days people think.
I think that's kind of emphasizing that there is some kind of discussion about this topic. I mean, I would never use this myself, but if someone said it to me, I wouldn't think it was wrong, and I wouldn't think it was weird either. So that's also kind of an interesting thing.
Would you use it in a formal essay then?
No, I wouldn't use it at all. But if someone else did, I would not have any qualms about that. So there are some phrases where I just think theoretically correct, but so odd I would never use it and no one ever would. This one isn't quite on that spectrum, actually. At least to me anyway. I can ask around about this. It is thought that the ancient ruins are that's kind of talking about everyone, whereas it is being thought. At least for me, it makes me think of like an academic circle where they're discussing this kind of thing. Actually, so, I don't know, maybe that's just me, my impressions, my interpretation of this sentence, but yeah, you don't need to say it's being thought. It sounds, even though it's a passive sentence, it sounds weirdly more active. Like something is happening.
Yeah, it is interesting.
I don't know if that makes sense to you.
It makes sense, it makes sense. Now that you've explained it, it makes perfect sense.
Yeah, weirdly enough, for a passive sentence, it sounds more active.
Thank you very much, and enjoy your English. Hope to see you next time.
Yes!
And please subscribe and share the joy with the rest. Bye.
Be good.
As always.